Hi, my Sag and Sag Rising friends. Sandra from For Your Chi here today to do your monthly tarot reading for 6 houses here on YouTube for December of 2022. I'm doing Sag first because guess what? Da-dun, da-dun, da-dun! It is Sag season! And I feel like I'm getting this image that all the Sagittarians are in a stadium and a giant football game like the Super Bowl is just about to start. So there's a lot of excitement in the air, not only because it's Sag season, but because Jupiter comes online this week as I am recording this reading the week of Thanksgiving. So I'm hoping that your Jupiter lucky star brings you your wishes granted, all of them, for your birthday, Sag. Happy birthday to all of you. Okay, now let's take a look and see what's going on for you. Now, as we start in December, the Sagittarian is feeling the pressure. And you're saying, yeah, well, what's new, Sandra? Right? This has been like this for quite some time. However, with the Spiritual Strength card, Spiritual Strength wants you to remember, Sag, that you have everything within you to overcome whatever challenges face your or in your way. Okay, so not to worry. Now, you did pull a year from now. And what I'm getting with this card is a year from now, you will understand why you have been going through these challenges at this time. Now, it could be that a year from now, you just get some huge major breakthrough. And in a year, you have completed the cycle of learning this lesson, whatever this lesson happens to be. Okay? There are a lot of people who tend to, and not everyone, right? Because you do have some partners in your life, and I don't necessarily mean partnerships, but it could be, if that's true for you. There are certain people in your life who will definitely meet you halfway, right? Who will definitely do their part in the friendship, relationship, family-ship, whatever it happens to be. But then there are others who leech off the Sag like a parasite. So I feel like for some of you, that is the lesson that you are learning now, and then some sort of resolve, completion, or solution happens in a year from now. Now, if this is happening to you, Sag, like you have too many parasites, feel free to cut the cords from those parasites, because that person, those relationships are no longer serving you, Sag, and no longer serving your highest and best interest. And let's face it, we're living in a time collectively when we need to cut our losses, and that we need to take care of ourselves and take care of the people that we have commitments to take care of, right? And I'm talking blood relative commitments. And obviously spousal commitments, because that's a promise too, right? You took some vows. Unless you decided to reverse the vows. That's up to you. Let's move on to the second house, though. Truth. Okay. So Truth says, now remember, second house rules your money and your stuff. Truth says that you have been sweeping a certain financial issue under the rug, and now it's time to finally face it, and not only acknowledge it, but actually do something about it, because in the end, the truth means a decision needs to be made to take action on a certain something. Now, for some of you, this is going to be You've been looking, did I tell you this last month? I said it in one reading. I don't remember if it was Sag or not. Somebody correct me in the comments. You're looking at the balance of your 401k or your retirement brokerage account, and it's been losing money because of certain climate circumstances economically in this country and others. And you've been seeing it dwindle down. And finally, you say to yourself, you know what? I'm going to do something about this. I'm not just going to stand back and watch this go into the hole. The card for the advice, I love it. Meditation brings answers. I've said this before. I have said before that Cancers are the most psychic sign there is, which I believe is true. You know, I've got so much Scorpio in my chart. Obviously, Scorpios have the sixth sense for sure. But the Sagittarius has a special gift in that they can close their eyes during a very small, minute amount of time in meditation. And they can come up with the biggest visualization answer. In other words, the intuition comes from the third eye, the visual. Sometimes it can even be a daydream. But seriously, quiet your mind, quiet the environment as much as you can, and then try to go into meditation and get the answer. If you've never done this before, you might be shocked and very surprised at the answers that you are getting. Remember, this is regarding your finances and your stuff. So if you need to make a decision about your money, about your stuff, meditation will bring you that answer, okay? Your third house, your brother or sister, well, it's time for them to reflect. It's not time for them to make any major moves or decisions right now. It's time for them to plan out their next move. What is the advice card? Well, they need to trust in the higher power, trust in the universe has their back. Perhaps something did not come to fruition in the timing that they wanted. Perhaps they wanted to move. Perhaps they wanted to change jobs. It just didn't work out. And, you know, there's something about divine timing here. Everything works out as it's supposed to. You may have to, when it's supposed to, you may have to relay that message to your brother or sister. Could be brother, sister-in-law, or stepbrother, sister, don't forget. Okay, now. Fourth house, house of home. Where you currently live. If this is not talking about where you currently live, this is talking about your father or your father figure. Destiny. This is the Wheel of Fortune in the traditional tarot. This is the luckiest card in the whole deck. If you wanted to do something with regard to your home, if you want to change it somehow, I guess this could even be a move, Sag, although it is stressful to move during the holidays. The holidays are stressful enough. But if that's true for you, then take it as it resonates. This could also, if this is talking about your father could be extra lucky right now. He may win a small sum in some sort of raffle, lottery, some sort of drawing, something like that. And what's the advice card? I love it. Don't stop, okay? Don't stop. And the last couple of times, I normally don't pull this card, but when I do, the last few times, I get the song in my head, Journey, Don't Stop Believing. Don't stop believing that the universal Wheel of Fortune miracle can happen to you. Or the Wheel of Fortune miracle can happen to your father, okay? Okay. Moving on to the fifth house. Now, for those of you single Sages, this is good news. For those of you that are coupled, this is fantastic news also. But it's particularly good if you're single, because we pulled the Three of Cups here. This is celebration. This is joyful. Okay, this is going out and having a great time. with friends, at parties, social parties, work parties, any kind of gathering. You will have an excellent time, Sag. You should go. But like I said, for those of you single, this is also you putting yourself out there, because you could have an answer to your ask, an answer to your prayer happen here in meeting someone. Big, happy changes. So this is a yes. Make sure you can say yes to the invitations that you get. Put yourself out there. Yes, yes, yes. Big, happy changes along with rejoice and celebration. Fantastic for your 5th house of social life, fun, and friends. And dating if you're single. Okay? All right, now let's talk about the 6th house a little bit. We have a weird message here. Financial challenges, changes. But really this means financial challenges, but it's in your 6th house of work. So in the 6th house, this can mean that you see cutbacks at your job, as in, you know, maybe they're laying certain people off right now. Typically, it's other people when it shows up in the 6th house, but it's enough for you to notice it, Sag, okay? It's enough for you to notice it. Or, you know, you see the, maybe, I always give this example when I see this in the 6th house. Maybe your place of business had like primo coffee and coffee creamer and really expensive, you know, fancy alternative sugar substitutes, and then all of a sudden that goes away. Or they have a change in vendor and the quality's not so good because they're cutting back. It's stuff like that in the 6th house. Now, if you've been feeling under the weather, Sag, you know, that could be, this could also be, and this is not for everyone, this could also be you, in that you are having to spend extra money on doctor visits or, you know, prescriptions, some kind of medical treatments right now. What's the advice card? Ask for help from others, okay? So when I saw these two together with regard to work, my first thought was, this actually happened to my husband one time. He got a job, and then slowly they canned everyone in his department and then left him all to do the work. Now, I hope that that doesn't happen to you. But why did I get that flash when I pulled these two cards together? Because he needed help. I mean, he really did. But the problem with all of that was he was so capable that he could do everything. He was the top dog. And so when you're the top dog and you can do everything, sometimes what happens is the superiors think, well, I'll just give it to Sagittarius. I'll just give everything to Sagittarius, and we'll see how much we can give him or her before they crack, before they break. Because they are so capable and they are so intelligent, right? And they can do a lot. But they tend to burn the candle at both ends. They tend to overwork. They tend to stay up too late. Does this sound familiar? The other thing is, if this is related to your health and you really are, you know, stretched out right now with that financially, you may really need to ask for help. This could be a loan from someone, or this could be like help around the house, you know, hiring a cleaning person or hiring a babysitter, that kind of help. And so the money's going out. And so you see how this card here, in your truth, in your 2nd house, those issues could absolutely be related. Okay? Absolutely. Not for everyone, obviously, but the reading is starting to have a theme here. Okay, now we're going to do your tarot cards of who's in your 7th house of relationships before we go into the extended reading, which is contained in the link below. We pulled a Leo here for you in your 7th house relationships. We pulled a Capricorn, and we pulled the traditional Scorpio, which we pull in every single reading, don't we? For the Sag, the Scorpio is always around you. Okay, so that's it for your 6th house reading. If you want to continue with me on Patreon, the link will be below. Tier 2 is what you want. Tier 2 is $5.55. And you're going to get all 12 houses, or you're going to get the extended reading, which is 7 through 12, not just for Sag, but for the rest of the zodiac as well. And you can go back and look at last month and the month before if you wish to see how it applied to you or to your relatives, to see how cool that is. But also, don't forget, I'm doing the yearly readings, which I've already posted on Patreon for my Tier 1 people. And if you're Tier 2, you automatically get Tier 1. You're going to get the yearly readings. I've already posted the Leos, the Cancers, and the Virgos. So I'm going to be doing Scorpio, Sag, and Capricorn next. So you're going to get both of those for $5.55 for the subscription per month. Link is contained below. And we're going to be looking at your 7th house of primary relationships in depth, complete with romance angel cards. We're going to be looking at your 8th house of taxes, contracts, legal matters, intimacy, the source of your significant other's income, if that applies to you. We're going to be looking at your 9th house of your school and your travel, your 10th house of career and your mother, your 11th house of your child or your best friend, and the 12th house, which is the future 3 months from now. Many blessings to you, my Sagittarius friends. Take care of yourselves. Take care of your health. It's the number one most important commodity, because there are so many people that rely on the Sag. Let's face it. Take care, everyone.